Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to make this 3D cube, this 3-piece that you see on the screen right now. I had made a 2-piece one the other day. I figured I would do this one as well. The pictures for the project have to be square. These here are 500 by 500. I have used up to 750 by 750. I don't think it matters as long as they're square. They will go on the cube correctly. Start out and add a page. Go to Media Pool. Right click. New Fusion Composition. Change the duration to 12 seconds. I am on a 30 frames per second frame rate. You can name it if you'd like, but you don't have to. Make sure it's 12 seconds long. And go to Fusion. I will leave a card up in the right corner and the link to the tutorial I did on the 2-piece cube I made. Click away over here. Shift spacebar. And Cube 3D, which I already have typed in here. Put that in Viewer 1. Then go over to the inspector. Uncheck the lock width, height, and depth. Leave the width and the depth. We'll change the height to 0.36. And if you look in Viewer 1, we now have a very low box. Now right click on the cube, go up here to copy, click away down here, right click and paste instance. And go below that one, click away, right click and paste another instance. Let's merge these together. Put the merge in Viewer 1. You won't see anything different. Select the top cube. Go in the inspector under transform. If you move the Y axis, you'll see everything moves together. So we'll reset that. Go to the second cube down, the first instance. Under translation, Y-axis, right click. And D-instance. Now you'll see they move independently. Go to the bottom one. Same thing, under translation, Y-axis, right click, and D-instance. Bring that bottom one down to minus 0.36. Then go back to the top one. Under the Y-axis, you want 0.36. And we have a cube again. The rotation is still linked together. We will leave that for now. We'll come back to that. Right here, we're going to de-instance. I'll do this temporarily to show you. Now the center one turns independently. To re-instance, right click on the Y again and re-instance. We'll leave it this way, that way when we put the pictures on, everything stays in one rotation together. Grab your first picture you want on the front. You want to right click on the output, drag it over to the cube, let go and select front. And we want to do that with both the other ones. If you wouldn't mind taking a moment and give me a like, that would be appreciated. We need to grab a transform off the toolbar. If you bring it right down to your pipe, it'll drop right on once it changes color. If you set it on the pad, you have to use the shift key or disconnect the pipes to connect it. Let's get rid of the color on the cube. We'll select the top one. Any of them will do. Go to Materials in the inspector. Right here under Face, it says Front. We'll make all these white. The back is white by default. Let's finish our setup here before we go any farther. Select Merge. Go to the toolbar and select another Merge. Camera. And Render. Connect the render into Media Out, put it in Viewer 2. Select the render. Go up in the inspector under Render Type. Change it from software to hardware. Now it will render out much faster. Grab the camera node. Go into Transform in the inspector. Select Use Target. Under Translation, Z-axis, we'll move the camera back. And size it to your liking. You can always come back and change it later. Let's go back to Transform 1. Deselect the Use Size and Aspect. Change the Y size to 3.0. And under Center Y, change that to minus 0.5. Select Transform 2. Deselect the Use Size and Aspect again. Change the Y size to 3.0. Now go to Transform 3. Deselect the Y or the size and aspect again. Once again, Y size, change it to 3. And then the center Y, change to 1.5. And now we have our picture on the cube correctly. Select all 3 of the transforms, right click and copy. Click away down here, right click and paste. And bring your second picture down. Now, there's 2 ways to bring these pictures in. If you're not going to save this as a preset that you can bring back into Fusion and just change the picture and keep reusing it, you're fine bringing these pictures from the media pool. If you want to save the pictures on it, you want to use a loader in the drop-down menu to bring the pictures in. Connect this to all 3 of the yellow inputs. Now we're going to go on the left side. So we'll rotate the cube so we can see the left side. And again, we're going to right click on this, drag it up above the cube, let go, and select left. And there it is, it's all proportioned correctly because we just copied and pasted the transforms. Now we'll go to the right side. Copy these again. Click away right here. Right click. And paste. Go ahead and bring your third picture down. Connect them into the yellow input again. Now we'll do the same thing, right click, drag it over, and drop it on right. Okay, now we got that side done. Now the back. Let's copy and paste these again. Click away down here. Right click and paste. The last picture down. Now we want to do the same thing again. Right click, drag it over, and drop it on the back. And now we have all 4 put on. Now we can name these if we like, keep track of them. That way if you do save it as a preset, you'll know which one's which. We can select any one of these. Right click and then rename. Name that one front. This will be left. This one's right side. And back. Okay, now we'll go ahead and keyframe it for the animation. Like I said earlier, right now we have all these three pieces coupled together. So select the middle cube, the first instance. Up here under rotation, y-axis, right click, and D-instance. Now as you see in the viewer, it is independent. Make sure they're both set back to 0. I am on a 30 frame per second frame rate, which I'll make sure I go back and mention it at the beginning. So I'm going to start out at 1 second in. So whatever your frame rate is, you'll have to adjust accordingly. Mine will be 30. Select the middle node, first instance. Go up here and hit pin. Then select the first cube and hit pin. Now they are both over here at the same time. So set a keyframe on the rotation y-axis on both of these. Then I'm going to advance 1 second, 30 frames. To 60 for me. One of these will rotate one way and the other one the other way. And the numbers do not correlate. You would think if you rotate them both the same, they would match, but once in a while one will match up, maybe two. You want to take it past one full rotation to basically the fifth side. To 450. This one up here will rotate the other way. That is not far enough. It'll rotate way slower than the top. You want to spin quite fast so you don't notice that they don't all spin the same. Top and bottom will spin faster than the center. Take that to 630, minus 630 that is. Good idea to keep an eye on the viewer too, make sure that they are lined up as we go. Now we want to advance 2 seconds. Must be 120 for me. Set a keyframe on both these. After I do a couple, I will be fast forwarding through some of this just because it's the same thing to get to the end. Now with the keyframe set, we'll move ahead 1 more second. Be 150 for me. Now you want to make sure you rotate these the right direction. This one will take to 900. Minus 900, that is. And this one will line up to the 900 as well. And it does line up. Now we'll advance 2 more seconds. To 210 for me. Set a keyframe on both these again. Advance 1 second. That's 240 for me. This will be our 3rd picture. Mine is at 1350 on the bottom. Top is minus 1530. Now we'll advance another 2 seconds. Be 300 for me. Now we'll set a keyframe on both these. Advance 1 second. To 330 for me. Now we'll rotate this all around till we get to the first picture. Minus 1800. And I have 1800 on the bottom. We'll give it a play and see how it looks. Okay, now we'll keyframe the separation. Put your playhead at the first keyframe. Unpin the instance. Select the bottom one. And then pin it. So we're technically going to keyframe the top one and the bottom one, not the center. We'll play it on the first keyframe. You'll know that if your first keyframe here is highlighted. Select the keyframe on both the y-axis under translation. Move ahead to the center. Mine will be 15 frames. The center of the 1 second. Change this minus 0.36 to minus 0.46. And do the same down here. Make sure you don't change the other ones we already done. Then bring your playhead to the next keyframe. For me, it's 15 frames. Again, you can validate that by the keyframe that's set. And change this value back to minus 0.36. On both of them, and just repeat that for the next 3. I'll be fast forwarding through this. Okay, all in keyframing. So if we done it right, it should look like mine. If I did it right. And we'll give it a play and see how it looks. Okay, I'm going to adjust the camera. Just a little bit of an angle. Play it at 0. Select the camera. Under transform, translation, x-axis. I'm going to rotate it like that. Set the distance. Now select all 3 of the cubes. Go up here and open your spline. Make sure those are all selected. Come over here to zoom to fit. Select all. Hit F on the keyboard. And then T as in Tom on the keyboard. Now you'll see this little ease in, ease out window pop up. We're going to make the ease in and out the same so we can lock it. And run this up to about 55 or 60. Doesn't have to be right on. You want to add a color to these top and bottom of these gaps. Select the cube. Go over to materials. We'll do top. I have this tan color. And bottom. Now if you look in there, we have a nice tan color. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.